professional, non-professional mechanic? What are the official times?
God damn it, this thing! Ah! Woo-hoo! Grab it, grab it!
Welcome back, guys. You know what I'm standing next to now. This is my 2008 KFX450R, and yes, this was my pick for the top quad. I feel like I can finally breathe. I feel like I've been holding secrets from you guys. I have been holding secrets from you guys. This is what I've been doing. This is why I haven't been posting quite as many videos as I typically do, because I was actually building this quad. It wasn't just purchased in like this or even close to like this. I went through the ringer with this thing. So first and foremost, this thing was a basket case. I had to do an entire motor build on it, and just about everything on the rolling chassis needed to be pulled apart and redone. The entire rear end was seized together. The axle nuts needed to be cut off. The axle needed to be completely smashed out. It was seized into the carrier. The carrier bearings were shot, and then the carrier was seized inside the swing arm. And that theme just kind of carried across the board for this entire machine. So it was a lot of work, and we finally got it into running condition, and it was literally down to the wire. I wound up doing swapping the cams out at 3:35 a.m. last Thursday, or actually Friday, 3:35 a.m., and we left that Friday around, I think 10:30 or 11 in the morning. It needed to be ready to rock and roll though, man, because we were going out to Indiana, which is an 11-hour drive for me, to shoot the Top Quad Series. But luckily, everything came together, not without a hitch. When I got out there, we put it in the bed of the truck running, and when we got out there, the damn thing wouldn't start. It took 5 hours and 45 minutes to diagnose the problem and 15 minutes to fix. It turned out there was a little bit of a bad connection between the fuel pump, so we weren't quite getting fuel going to the top end. But it's crazy, the smallest little problems can create such a problem. But after that, we pretty much had no problems for the rest of the day. The quad performed excellently, if that's even a word. And I know everybody's getting antsy. They're like, oh, did you win the top quad competition? Getting DMs. I'm getting people texting me and stuff that have my number, and I'm like, dude, listen, we made a pact. Me and the guys that shot the series, we're not going to reveal who won the Top Quad Challenge until the series is released. But luckily, I am putting the hammer down. I'm going to try to get that series released by mid-November, so it won't be that much longer. You guys waited this long, and you can wait a couple more weeks, but I am so excited to show you guys the series. Honestly, it was epic. I can honestly say this was probably the most fun I've ever had doing anything off-roading wise, definitely on a quad. I got to chill with Pete Hager, Justin Sturgill, Brewer, Jacob Brewer from Brewer Off-Road, and the Brewers where we filmed the series were just excellent people. It was awesome shooting the series. We had so much fun, and we really got to put these quads to the test. I think throughout the weekend, we pretty much put this thing through its paces as far as drag races go. We hit some jumps. We did some pretty serious hill climbs with it. We were doing slaloms with it, doing little courses, comparing quads and stuff. We really got to see what this thing can do. And I'll tell you what, man, people bag on the KFX450R. This thing's a beast. So I'm not going to do an entire overview of this quad, and while it did perform well, it definitely had its shortcomings, and definitely the brakes when we got out there, the rear brakes needed to be bled. So for the first half of the competitions, they were kind of subpar. Then we bled the brakes, and they were working pretty good after that. But the worst thing on this quad is definitely the suspension. So I'm going to be sending them out to Rocket Ron. He's going to be rebuilding those suspension. I think I'm going to get dual rate springs. That should totally liven this thing up. And the other thing is that the steering is super loose. There's really nothing wrong with the steering. There's a little bit of play in the lower bushing. I already ordered that to be replaced, but not having a precision stabilizer on here, it's just totally different because the other quads out there actually had them. And when you go from one and then back to one without it, dude, the confidence and stability is like totally erased. So as I rode this throughout the day, I was able to get used to it, but when other people were hopping on it, they were like, dude, this is this is no good. So that was definitely a shortcoming. So basically just in the handling department, from the suspension and no stabilizer, that was the shortcomings of the quad. It makes pretty decent power. It's stock for the most part. We have an Athena OEM bore cylinder on there, so that kept it really cool because the water jackets are bigger. The temperature stayed below like 150 all day. Now that temperature gauge might be slowly off, but it stayed cool. You can let it sit and idle. I have the fan hot wired so that it will constantly run, and it just stayed nice and cool all day. It was firing up really well. Some other things that we noticed were that the foot pegs were a little lackluster. Your feet kind of slip around on the pegs, and the headlight bolts came loose, but that's not really a problem. That's just something that needs to be tightened down and a little bit of Loctite will fix that issue. The tune is not quite perfect. That was something because this was such a last minute build and I got it together right in the nick of time. I don't know how to really do fuel mapping and stuff like that. We have a Procom on here that Weston from DRW hooked us up with, and I kind of just threw like a map from their website on there, and it runs pretty good, but it's definitely not optimal. So that's my top quad in a nutshell and how it performed. I just wanted to let you guys know that everything was filmed successfully, so all that's left to do is the editing. I will be doing a much more in-depth video on the making of this quad. I have a full series showing how to build the KFX450R motor, just an assembly video. So there will be content on that, but I did want to give you guys an update. I've been getting a lot of DMs and questions asking when the Little Sahara videos are coming out. That's what I'm working on now. A lot of that stuff just got postponed because I had my face to the grind getting this thing together. I really needed to be ready for the 23rd and 24th and 25th for the shooting of this series. So that's pretty much where all of my time went. But now that we've done the shooting, I'm gonna finish up the Little Sahara videos. I should have those out very shortly. And then following that, I will be working on the Top Quad series, and I'm gonna get that out as quickly as I possibly can, guys. Give me some slack because I'm gonna be editing. It might not be, the highest rate of videos coming out while I'm doing that. But in the meantime, guys, you can help me out by watching some of my older videos, and make sure to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and the content. I appreciate all you guys. I will see you in the Little Sahara videos and in the Top Quad series. I love all you guys. Peace out.